Hello and good evening. This video demonstrates how I designed and developed my website. My website is an event venue booking website and is for people looking to book for a venue for their event. My main folder is called the event venue reservation folder. I created a GitHub repository which I called Event Venue Reservation, and I'm working from the master branch of that repository. The website has two parts, the front end part and the back end part. The front end part of the website is built with a React framework, while the back end part of the website is built with a Laravel PHP framework. Both my front end and my back end connects using RESTful API endpoints. All the React files are the .jx files, like app.jx, booking.jx. These are all my React files. Login.jx, thanks.jx, search.test.jx. This one is a testing file for my automated testing. Then I have all the backend files are the PHP files. I have my controllers. I defined my routes, the API.php, web.php. I have controller.php. I have search controller.php. All the PHP files here are my backend files, and I have a .env file which contains the details of my database. Now, if I go to terminal and open a new, I'll change my directory to the server, the back end part of my website. And to start my back end server, I'll use PHP artisan serve. I'm starting my back end server. My backend server is now started and is running on port 8000. I'll go to terminal again and open another new terminal. This time, I want to change my directory to the front end, which is the client. And I will start my front end development server by typing npm start. My front end React file is starting now. Starting now. My React file is starting now. That's the front end part of my website. And the front end development server is starting. So my code compiled successfully and is loading on the web browser. It's loaded now. My website is loaded now on the web browser. And this is the home page of my website. It's made up of navigation buttons. I have home, booking, login, search buttons on my home page. And each of the button leads to different areas of my website. So it is a simple website and it is user friendly and easy to navigate. So if a visitor comes to my website to book for an event venue, so he will go to booking form and complete the booking form. For instance, if his name is Aka Chooks and his password is Aka Chooks 900 and telephone number is 078-572-79129. Then you can choose a date. Let's say a date. You want a date for Saturday, the 16th of March, 2024. And username is Akachooks. Let me use the same thing I use for the password, Akachooks 900. Then the email address is akachooks@gmail.com. Then event venue type is um, hall, and booking hours is 4 hours 30 minutes. So having put all the details, then the visitor can now submit his booking form by clicking on the submit button. Yes, it's submitted now. So it's saying, thank you for your booking. We will get back to you soon. So this is the response after submitting the booking form. Then the visitor can also now can be able to log in because his details are now residing at the back end. That's at the database. So he can now come to the login section and put Akachuk's 900, which was the username, and same with the password, which is Akachuk's 900. And he can be able to now log in to view his record. Yes, this is the record now, which he has already. He has this record when he booked in at the first time. So on this dashboard now, you have the username as Akachooks900. The name is Akachooks, email address akachooks@gmail.com, telephone number, this, venue type was hall, booking date was 16th of March 2024, and the booking hour was 4 hours 30 minutes. Now, if the visitor wants to update his record, so he can use the update form. This, and he can now change, assuming he has changed his mind, he doesn't want to use hall again. He want to use he want to book for outdoor, probably to get more space. So he can come here, delete hall, and put outdoor. This method, this method shows a crude method because he is creating, and he reads his record. He can create by changing. He can delete, so, and update. So it achieves a crude method. Now, having changed from hall to outdoor, the same date and the same number of hours, he can now update his record by clicking on the update button. So it's going to change. Now it's changed now from hall. The venue type changed now from hall to outdoor. And this also achieves an asynchronous data flow. That is to say, data is being sent from back end to the front end and from the front end to the back end. Now, if the visitor want to search for a venue, you can use the search form and specifying the search terms, like he wants a room for 3 hours on Saturday, the 16th of March 2024. Having put these search terms, he wants to find out if there is any room available on this date and he intends to book for this room for 3 hours. So if the room is available on this date, it will show available. But if the room is not available, it will show not available. So if he clicks on search button, now there is no room available on Saturday, the 16th of March 2024. This is how the my website is being navigated around. Now, I want to check if what we have done so far, the data we are entering from the front end, whether it is actually going to the database, whether it's being sent to the database. So if I go to my MySQL prompt, command prompt, and using my database name, which is event venue users, and I'm going to query my table, which is users, the users table of my event venue users database. So if I try to query this table, select star from users. Good. Okay. Now you can see the last thing we put was outdoor, and it's updated outdoor as a venue type that we chose when we entered it from the front end. So there is a data flow from the front end to the back end. Now I have to go back to my IDE to carry out automated testing. So if I come to terminal, new terminal, I'll change my directory to client, and I will run a test. I will run a testing. I'll carry out testing for my website based on some use cases I have defined. This is to ensure that my website is error free. So if I come to this and type npm test, it's going to test to see if error can be captured within my website. So I've already defined some test files. I've already developed some test files that will help me to run automated testing for my website. So I've developed login.test. I've developed search.test, and okay, that's fine. So all my three test files, the login.test, search.test, and thanks.test, all of the three all passed my automated testing. So I carried out automated testing using these three files in my website, and all of them passed without returning any error. Now, if I now having done my testing, I want to check the performance of my website. So I will I will use a Google Lighthouse software to test the performance of my website. So if I open another new terminal, I will change my directory again to client and run the usual n npm start. Now I'm going to check the performance of this website. This test, this performance test shows how quickly my website can load on the web browser. So it's a very important test for to know to check and so that it to check the performance of a website, and it helps website developers to improve the performance of their website based on the outcome of the check. So Google Lighthouse, the Google Lighthouse is a popular software for website performance test. So if I if I go to my home page and right click on my home page, and I will go to inspect, then I'll go to Lighthouse. So I will specify all the categories, of which performance is one of them, which is actually the main one I'm looking to get results. So having selected performance, accessibility, best practices, SEO, progressive web app, having selected all of this, I will click on the analyze page load button to analyze my website to know the overall performance of my website. So if I click on analyze, so the Google Lighthouse will analyze my website and score it based on how quickly it loads, how the components of my website interact with each other, and so the overall percentage will now help me to improve my the performance of my website. It's analyzing the entire page or content of my website. Good. Okay, that's fine. So it's giving me 68% of performance, and also is grading other other categories which I have earlier selected. So it's giving me performance 68, accessibility 100, best practices 100, SEO 100. So this is good performance rate for the website. Now I want to check my API endpoints. So I will use Postman to check my API endpoints. Now remember, I have my username as Akachooks 9900, and my password was Akachooks 900. So this is the URL of my login page. That is my API endpoint for my login page. So if I change my directory, sorry, if I open a new terminal, PHP artisan serve. So if I copy this link, if I copy this link, this URL, and open my Postman to paste it here, then I have my URL as http colon forward forward slash 127.0.0.1 8000 forward slash API forward slash login. So it's a post method. So, and I have specified my username and password. So if I send this, I want to test my API, my REST API endpoint for this particular component of my website, which is the login page. So if I send this, this would test if actually my REST API endpoints are active or not. That's it. So it's showing me logged logged in logged in successfully. That means my API endpoints are active. So if I similarly test for other ones like search API forward slash search, is still going to give me the same result because it has shown me from my previous test when I carried out automated tests, but that no error was recorded. So this is how I designed and developed my my website. Thank you so much.